Keir Starmer confronted by frustrated voters during public Q&A. Moment of silence goes viral. Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer faced a tense moment during a recent public Q&A session when a frustrated member of the audience posed a pointed question that left him momentarily speechless. The exchange, which took place during a campaign stop in a Midlands town centre, has since gone viral online, drawing strong reactions across the political spectrum. Starmer, who was in the area to speak about Labour's economic policy and plans to support working families, had just wrapped up his main remarks when the floor was opened for public questions. What followed was a passionate interaction that captured both the growing pressures on political leaders and the intensity of public sentiment in the run-up to the general election. During the open forum, a man in his mid-40s, visibly frustrated, raised his voice above the crowd to ask, "Why should we trust any of you now, when you've all had your chance and we're still worse off?" The question, though not delivered with hostility, was sharp and emotionally charged. For several seconds, Starmer appeared caught off guard. The crowd, a mix of supporters and skeptics, fell silent, creating a moment of palpable tension. Eventually, Starmer responded by acknowledging the public's frustration. "I understand why people feel let down. That's exactly why I came into politics, because I believe we need to rebuild that trust. And I know that won't happen overnight." The clip, filmed by an attendee and shared widely on social media, quickly gained traction under captions like "Starmer stunned" and "Voter calls out the establishment." While some users applauded the man's question as a necessary challenge, others defended Starmer, arguing that his measured response reflected leadership under pressure. One user wrote, "It's about time someone said it to his face. We need answers, not slogans." Another replied, "At least Starmer stayed and responded. Other politicians would have walked away." The incident has become symbolic of a larger theme in British politics: the growing disconnect between everyday citizens and Westminster leadership and the demand for straight answers in uncertain times. Political analysts were quick to weigh in, noting that moments like this can shape public perception more than any planned speech or campaign slogan. Professor Linda Ayres, a political science expert at the University of Manchester, explained, "What we're seeing is a shift in tone. People aren't interested in polished answers anymore. They want real engagement." This was a test for Starmer, and while it was uncomfortable, he handled it with a level of maturity. Conservative critics used the moment to question Labour's ability to reconnect with working-class voters, particularly in areas historically loyal to the party but now increasingly undecided. Reform UK and other minor parties also amplified the video, positioning it as a sign that the political establishment is losing touch with reality. However, many Labour supporters praised Starmer for staying in the room, answering the question, and not becoming defensive, a stark contrast, they argue, to past instances where politicians have avoided scrutiny. Despite the viral moment, Starmer continued with the rest of the event, fielding questions on education, the NHS, and job creation. He reiterated Labour's commitment to reversing austerity-era cuts and investing in public infrastructure. He also addressed concerns about trust and political promises directly. "I know people are tired of being told things will get better, only to see nothing change. That's why we're focused on achievable goals, not flashy promises." In interviews afterward, Starmer said he welcomed the challenge. "It's important that we hear directly from the public even when it's uncomfortable. That's how we rebuild politics." The encounter reflects a larger trend in British politics: voter fatigue, rising skepticism toward party promises, and a hunger for authenticity. With cost-of-living pressures mounting and faith in institutions declining, many citizens are arriving at political events not just to listen, but to confront. Local resident Deborah Ellis, who attended the event, described the mood in the crowd as restless but respectful. "People aren't here to heckle. They're here because they're fed up. If the politicians don't feel that heat, they won't understand what we're living through." As Britain edges closer to a general election, moments like these may prove more influential than any TV advert or party manifesto. They reveal not just what a leader stands for, but how they respond when the script fades and the people speak up. Keir Starmer's brief pause in response to a raw, honest question wasn't a failure, it was a reflection of the complex reality political leaders face. Whether it earns him respect or criticism depends largely on the public's appetite for sincerity over spin. What do you think? Was this a defining moment of leadership or a sign of disconnect? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss more updates from the front lines of UK politics.